Hey, I'm Menoe. This is my Hardcore Ironman. In this series, I'm going for a max streak at the Arch-Glacor, where I'm losing my status. Since the last episode, I've been doing a bit of rune crafting for the rune pouches, trying to get magical threads. Here's a level 90. It means I can get a massive pouch, which holds more essence. The thread rate is based on how many essence you're using at the altar. So now I can buy this massive pouch and have the best possible setup for getting threads. I don't really need levels anymore, so I'll overwrite this urn with more essence so I get more threads. Here are the results from a trip I did earlier, without the skull or massive pouch. Here's the same setup, but I used the skull instead. The essence is just how many I used in the trip. Here's a trip with both skulls and the massive pouch. Such a huge difference in threads. All the trips are 48 minutes. I also decided to buy some astral tabs because I have a lot of points from the traveling merchant. I have to be careful because Pkers can one-hit me with the tier 90 necromancy weapon spec. So I immortality every time at the ditch, and then I use War's Retreat to reset the cooldown for the ultimate. I've learned the hard way on the previous hardcore that Sign of Life doesn't work in PvP combat, so I have to be really careful not to get one hit. I could play it safe and go no skull, but it would use a lot of essence that I already don't have. Wouldn't be very hardcore if I didn't take risks, right? An interesting thing nowadays is that you can do 4 trips to the astral altar because of the load last preset update. With Grace of the Elves set to Deep Sea Fishing Hub, you can probably make it 5 or maybe even 6, but I don't have it. Here's 48 minutes of the astral tab method, 25 threads. I thought it would be more considering the essence. As someone who doesn't enjoy questing, I gotta admit this cutscene is just perfect. Brings out some nostalgia from early Ironman days. Here's Lord of Imperium done for the Firewatch quest line. I need to level up my prayer to 95. It's about time I have proper prayer. And the XP lamps from this is just so good. Lots of herb XP. I'm up to 97 herblore now. 3 more levels, then I can boost to Elder Overloads. You can tell by the XP tracker I've been here a while. 90 fishing, 84 cooking. Which means I don't really have to stay here any longer. I can use spices to get to Wilder Pies and also the Primal Pulp. I try to keep up with the penguins every week, because it's for sure the best weekly. Here's 98 herblore. But I've done enough penguins to not stop there. 1.2 million to next level, and there it is. 99 herblore. The cape is really good for cleaning herbs. It does a full inventory in one click. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the last quest was the one for Firewatches, but it's this one, River of Blood. I think I'm done with most of the quest stuff now. I can't remember if I need anything else for the goal list, but I don't think so. I'm at the point where I'm not really in need of herblore XP, but it still feels like the best option, I think. Kinda need farming. Anything else? I don't think so. Prayer, but I'm gonna get wires anyway, so I'll just AFK there. I'll go herblore for everything. No level this time around though, but still good XP. Always nice to see. For the Sun Spear, I'm going Precise 6 and Scavenging 4, hoping to get some comps for the remaining perks I need. I was doing some buyers and the gear I have currently isn't good enough to AFK. Thought I might as well upgrade my tank armor to tier 90. I looked up the Moss Golem strategy with Necromancy earlier, and it requires tier 90 tank armor, so I might as well make it. I know once I get to the 200 streak, I'm gonna use power armor at the start at least. I haven't really decided how I'm gonna do it post, say, 1500, 2000 in rage. Let me know what you think is best for high rage Glacor on a hardcore. On one hand, power armor is better, because you can kill the boss quicker so you spend less time in the high risk scenario. But the extra HP from tank armor might save me from a missed prayer flick or something like that. I'm a bit torn on what to do, to be honest. All I know is that I don't enjoy Raziel enough to do like a 200-hour grind and then die instantly to Glacor streak, so I'm going tier 90, whatever it will be. The gear is enough to 8k here at least. I'm using Leech Curses and the Zealot's Amulet. I like the tier 90 gear for Invention XP. Considering I'm using magic, it isn't really optimal. I could upgrade the gloves. Boots are fine, I guess, but the gloves for Cinderbanes, since I have the level already, I could just go on a Moss Golem killing spree. And also Fine Mechanic Glacor for the Wen book. If you ever end up boosting to make wilder pies, make sure you're using the baked pie spell. It has a 100% success rate, so you can't burn anything, which is really useful for this pie because you need like chompy meat and other annoying stuff. Also using my cooking boost to get some primal extract. It's used for quite a few PVM related items, but for now I just want the highest level weapon poison for moss golems. The best way to get nightshade for weapon poison is from a cave after watchtower quest. I really don't want a quest, so I'm testing this method, planting the actual seeds and farming them. I have a bunch of beans from dragons, so I can just use the super growth potion. I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 from a seed, but 12, that's really good. Enough for me to not do quests for sure. Here's the highest tier weapon poison. It's actually a really good requirement for the Glacier Streak as well. I was a bit concerned with this method because I've only done it with Mage before, and then I used Bloodburst, and the sustain was kinda not reliable. The Blood Reaver is carrying nowadays though. I can just use the scrolls to heal me 1000 every scroll, and then I can stay the full Slayer task in one inventory. Oh, and a nice invention level as well, 180. No success from the first task at golems, but I can't really expect it. Last time I did this on another account, it took over 6000 kills. I really hope I can dodge a dry streak like that on this account. Task 2 doesn't seem to be a success either, but it's fine, whatever. For all the AFK I'm doing, I always go to the PVME website. It's really good for any AFK strategies. They have all the action bars and stuff to do it properly. That's why I don't really mention any like action bar related stuff, because anything I do can probably be updated and done. Oh. Okay. Yeah, second task was a success. Perfect. This is such a good item to get lucky on as well. Big fan of this. Let's see. 366 grove creatures. That's really lucky. Decided to use my remaining wilder pies to get a soul talisman. It's the last thing I needed for a fully upgraded Wicked Hood, which means I can withdraw pure essence from it. The most annoying rune for me is lore runes, because you can't take any good items to the Entrana altar, so I don't have mobile when I'm doing it. But now I can just do this daily and get a decent amount of lore runes with only running one time, so it's really good. Another daily you can do with the outfit is just do a normal Skald run, and then you can bank and use the outfit to teleport to the astral altar. This way you don't need any of the rune spam points from the traveling merchant, which can be a bit of a time gate. So now you can just do like 3 or 4 trips a day, I think it is. Usually like 1 or 2 threads a day. It's pretty good. It's one of those dailies I wish I did consistently, but I always end up forgetting it. But it's still a good method. The Cinderbanes are better than my current best in slot mage gloves, and they're also a hybrid, which means I don't get an accuracy penalty for any combat style, which means one less switch to mess up while I'm doing my vulnerability debuffing. It's time to get a Wen book. I considered doing hard mode for it, that's why I did the Shield Dome quest earlier. But I kinda want it now, and my gear at the moment isn't amazing. I think I could still do like low in range, maybe 0 to 500 streaks. But normal mode is better if I do 5 mechanic, so I'll stick to normal mode for now. I kinda like the clean look of getting a 200 streak with 200 kills total. Well, hopefully. I haven't done any 5 mechanic yet, so starting KC 1964. The book drop rate is 1 in 167, so fingers crossed. Kills are above a minute, which feels really slow. I know in tier 95 you can get like 30-40 seconds. I will be needing split soul later anyways, so I might as well get that since I'm 92 prayer. I am 16k souls away. But now I'm not. Here's 35k. I thought I would need a full quest line with Raziel and all that necromancy stuff, but it looks like I can just claim both rewards without having to do all the quests. Skipping quests is very welcome in my book. Here's all the unlocks. The main reason I'm not doing Raziel on this account before Glacor is because of the dungeoneering sagas. I'm not doing that again. Well, maybe after the streak, but yeah, we'll see. I'm back at 5 mechanic after my upgrades and my kill times are slower. Can't win them all, but it was all skill issue. I forgot this boss drops Chaos Die. It's good for Simulator if I ever want to go for melee gear. Hey, here's the first drop. Legna artifact. Lost the 50-50, but it is what it is. Here's the kill count, 2028. It's a bit weird to track since I have so many zero mechanic kills. I'll edit in something in post to show the total 5 mechanic kills, make it easier. Hey, here's a invention level, can't say I expected that. Big fan of the mechanized siphon. Here's 119 invention, 1 level to go, then I can go for good perks. Here's 105 mechanic kill count. Gotta make sure I still keep up with the daily herb XP. Here's level 100, means I can boost to Elder Overloads, which is really good. 1 more level and I can boost for Elder Salves, but they're only really needed for AOD, and I'm not going there anytime soon. Well, that's not a book, but still nice to get broadcasts, could have been nothing. Dupes are always alright as long as I haven't hit the drop rate for the specific item I wanted. After that the mood goes down a bit. Oh, there's a broadcast. The pet. Kinda... I guess it's better than a Leng artifact. Why not? Here's a look at the collection log currently. I'll claim this pet. I don't like having the bank space taken up because I don't have a lot to begin with. There we go. It's a good looking pet. I'll take it. Well, I guess I deserve this after going so lucky on the Cinderbane grind. Let's see next broadcast if it's also a Leng artifact. I bet you were expecting a broadcast there, but this is just a kill count for the Wen book drop rate, so now I'm allowed to get a bit emotional. Don't worry, I'm in a good mood, I'll keep going. Oh, invention pet. It wasn't on the drop at least, so I wasn't baited. To be honest, I kinda thought I had this pet already. I'm just happy the next broadcast wasn't a Leng artifact. Here's a bit of a detour. I really need 106 farming for the Rexes for Vuln Bombs. I recently got 98 farming, so I think it's time to buy a pen and start farming some dinosaurs. Male and a male. No breeding pair, but I'll still grow them. They're good XP either way and maybe they can adopt. Claiming I'm happy would be a bit of a stretch, but 4th Leng artifact. I can't be getting 5, right? Must be a book next. There we go. I love that sound when you update the collection log. Scripture of Wen. Such a nice drop to get. Finally have a book slot. I've been just using Sign of Life for nothing for so long. It took me 231 kills. Which is alright, I guess. Here's a look at most of the useful stuff for the book grind. Bit of salvage. Battle staves as well, would be a lot of GP from both of those. Nihilus, bunch of rares, and the pages are so good. 200 plus. And I also have 24 hours in the book. I had to test out my new upgrades and fires to see the XP increase. I'm about 50 to 60k more per XP an hour. Can't complain at all. Mage isn't very good there since I don't have any ability upgrades, but I need the levels for Disruption Shield and Spellbook Swap as well. This place is so good for overloads, pretty much supplies me with everything I need for making them. Here is a level I've been waiting on for a long time, 120 Invention. Means I can go for a bunch of best in slot perks. I'm a fan of any DPS boosts I can get, and perks are a big part of that. See that freeze frame? I think you know what time it is. Got a bunch of great upgrades this episode. Primal Extract, Cinderbane Gloves, Weapon Poison. I did make progress on the tier 90 gear, and I kinda have it with the tank armor, but I'm saving that one till I have the power armor too. I also finally got my book slot, Scripture of Wen. I did make progress on the rune pouches, but I'd never finished it, so I'll save that for another time. If you're trying to PK me, I'm usually playing on UK worlds. Good luck.